I'm Betty PT. I'm a qualified personal trainer, fitness nutrition coach, group fitness instructor, aqua instructor, and fitness instructor. And today I'm going to talk about starting to exercise. Let's ask the question, why do we even need to exercise? Well, long time ago, work was a lot more physical, so the need for extra exercise wasn't there. But these days, a lot of work is information type work. So a lot of people are in front of their computer and are sitting on a desk all day long. Or they may be doing some other work that still doesn't require a lot of physical activity. There are so many reasons to exercise. There are physical benefits, health benefits, and emotional or psychological benefits. The physical benefits are that your body will start to transform. And this is really important. The fat will melt away and your muscle density will improve and increase together with your bone density. The health benefits are that you'll be able to run for that bus without being caught out of breath, or walk up 6 flights of stairs without having to stop in the middle for a breather. The emotional benefits are also extremely important. You'll find that with exercise, it reduces stress, it kind of avoids you getting depression or feeling that anxiety, it helps boost your self-esteem, and also helps with the sleeping. Never exercised before? It is never too late. Regardless of your age, it is never too late to start exercising. Don't feel that because you have never exercised before that you're not allowed to start or that you cannot start. But where to begin? Well, first, start to identify the things that you enjoy. Do you like bike riding? Do you like dancing, gardening, housework, low impact aerobics, tennis, swimming, walking, yoga? Think about what you like doing. Target those activities. Write them down. So get a notepad out and write them down right now. Then it is really great to find a friend. A friend is there not to actually do the exercise for you, but will be that extrinsic motivator that you may need from time to time. And another thing is you may be the extrinsic motivator for them as well. So think about this scenario. It's a cold night and you said to yourself, I'm going to go for a walk every night at 5 o'clock, but it's cold and you don't want to go and you're thinking of all the reasons why you shouldn't go. But your friend calls you and says, I'm here, let's go for a walk. Are you going to go or you're not going to go? Of course you're going to go. So see how just having that extrinsic motivator is fantastic. Another thing that's really important is that you start small and enjoy the wins. Don't feel that you have to start walking every single day of the week. And you don't have to walk 20 kilometers. Start small. Start with just going for a walk around the block. Walk, resistance, home Pilates, yoga, these are all things that you can do. What you need to start doing is crafting your exercise. So let's just say that you've never exercised before, you haven't done anything active other than a little bit of housework, or a lot of housework I should say in some cases, and you want to start really exercising. And you've chosen walking. That is great. But we need to fulfill 3 types of exercise. Now this is very, very, very important. So one type of exercise is resistance training, the other one is cardio training, and thirdly, flexibility training. So you have the trilogy of exercise. So what you want to do is ensure that you fulfill all 3 in each week. So the cardio training is fulfilled when you go walking, running, swimming, jogging, bit of tennis is also fulfilled there. That is your cardio training. But that is not the full picture. So you do need to do a little bit more. So rather than just doing walking every night, you may want to switch it up a little bit to make sure you include your resistance training and your flexibility training. Let's talk about flexibility training first. They're things like yoga. So what is great to do rather than just going for a walk and leaving it at that is when you come back from the walk that you do maybe 5 minutes of stretching. And that's a really good place to start. So you've gone for a walk around the block and then you finish off with 5 minutes of stretching. That is brilliant. And that can be week 1. Then week 2, you may go for 2 block walk and then finish off with that 5-minute stretching. So now we've captured 2 of the 3 training types. So we've captured cardio and flexibility, but we still need that resistance training. And it is absolutely critical that we do that resistance training. That resistance training helps with things like bone density and muscle density, which generally decrease as we get older. So it is important that we keep that resistance training up. You can actually do body weight training. So you may say to yourself, okay, once a week, that's a good place to start. After I finish my walk around the block, I'm going to come home and do lunges, squats, some push-ups from my knees, and then maybe do some reverse flies for my back. So with that, we have captured some resistance training. So all three training types are captured. Finally, it is important to be consistent and start improving. So you may want to start with week 1 looking like going for a walk maybe every second day and just going around the block. Then increasing to adding the stretches at the end of that walking around the block. Then maybe adding it to nearly every day walking around the block if you can. And if you miss out on a day, maybe do something extra at home. Then add the resistance training to that. Then add increasing. So you've got all 3 types of exercises, the resistance, the cardio, flexibility training, and then you're increasing the amount and the intensity you do. So it's not just about how much you do, but the intensity. So you may say, look, I still just want to walk around the block, but I'm going to go faster. So that's one way to increase it. And remember, you don't have to do this all in week 1. It can be spread out over several weeks, as long as you see that you are increasing, you are incrementally adding the intensity and the duration until you find a point where you are happy. Now, another very important thing to do is to ensure you mix up the exercise a little bit, so you're not doing the same thing over and over again, especially when it comes to resistance training and even stretching. So it is important that you change it up. So maybe instead of a particular type of yoga, you do a different type of yoga, or you do the same type of stretch but a little bit differently, maybe adding a slight twist to it. So for example, you can do sit and reach, or you can stand up and touch your toes, slightly different. Be consistent and increase on the intensity and the duration. Now, you can't increase indefinitely. There is a point where it will stop, and that is why the variation of the exercise is so important. Should you go to the gym? Totally up to you. The gym is not for everybody, and you can do a lot of things without needing the gym, and you can do them at home. The beautiful thing is we've got a lot of videos that are online now, so you can do a search for yoga or Pilates, or you can do a search for some home dancing. You can do a search for some other type of exercise activity. There's so much available online these days. But remember to keep safe. If something doesn't feel right, or if it has gone against what your doctor or health professional has told you, avoid doing it. And remember, before you start any exercise, reach out to your health professional to make sure that the exercise you're doing is right for you, especially if you have some pre-existing injuries. Make sure that you are doing the right thing for your body. Once you have established your starting point of what you're going to do for week 1, put it into your calendar and make it not negotiable. It's a non-negotiable activity. So if you say you're going to do a little bit of home Pilates on a Monday night for that Monday, you're going to do it. Now, if you don't feel like doing any, rather than doing none, even do 2 minutes. And you'll actually find what will happen instead is that you won't go for 2 minutes. You'll probably do a little bit more than 2 minutes, and that is wonderful. So it is not negotiable. Unless, of course, you are sick or you've been called out for an emergency. But other than that, if it's in your calendar, stick to it. Now, if you don't have a calendar that you run by, even get a small journal that you can just record when you're going to do these exercises and lock them in there. Now, it is important to keep a journal because you want to show yourself how you are going to aim to increase the intensity duration of your activity. So, to summarize, it is never too late to start exercising. When you exercise, ensure that you start small and gradually work your way up. Don't feel like you have to go to the gym and do hours and hours of training the first day. In fact, it can actually be quite dangerous. So work your way up progressively. See your doctor to get clearance from your health professional to make sure you are okay to start, and be mindful of things that you cannot do if you have pre-existing injuries. And that's okay, but be mindful of it. And maybe look at alternatives. Ensure that with your exercise, when you finally get to your routine, that you incorporate resistance training, cardio training, and flexibility training. And find a friend or somebody to keep you accountable for your workout. I hope this has been helpful. Betty PT, signing out.